Hi traders, this is Gomati Shankar. I am happy to meet you all in a new video. In this video, we are going to see Ask CPR by KGS, the most common questions raised by the retail traders, and I am going to answer it. So before going to today's video, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification. My opinion will be both are consistent and both are profitable, and for that you need a perfect trade setup. If you are trading in swing, then you should adapt to that appropriate time frames. You need to start from the higher time frame and then you need to stick with 1 hour charts. If you are using CPR, then you need to use weekly CPR. Suppose if you are using daily chart, you have to use monthly CPR, and you need to check other concepts like trend line breakouts, channel breakouts, support and resistance breakouts. So you need to adapt to the time frames and methods which suits for swing trading. And when you do scalping, you need to be more focused, you need to be very quick, and you need to be proactive. You need to stick with shorter time frame charts. For example, I will be using 1 hour chart and 5 minute charts for scalping, and occasionally I use 3 minute chart as well. So I adapt to the scalping methodologies and I used to be proactive, and generally I never stay in a trade for a long time. So scalping suits me. I even do swing trading, but majority of my trades will be in scalping. Swing trading is consistently profitable or scalping is consistently profitable. It depends upon the trade setup which you use, and you need to be adapted to that particular time frame and that particular trade setup. And while you do swing trading, make sure you have enough amount of patience as well, because when the market gap ups or gap downs, I have seen many swing traders, they used to get panic. So you should be very strong in psychology when you do swing trading, and you need a sound capital as well. So it depends upon your trading situation as well. There is a confusion among the beginners regarding the same question. How much capital should I keep in my trading account to start trading? Whether I should have 10,000 rupees or 50,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupee. You can even start trading with 1,000 rupees. Last week in my video, I posted a West Coast paper. I posted that chart in investing part 1, and even I posted that particular chart in Telegram channel as well. When I posted that particular chart, West Coast paper was trading around 211 levels, and even I have invested some particular amount in that particular company. Now the West Coast paper is trading around 250 levels, and it went high up to 270 levels. So if you are having 1,000 rupee, you would have bought around 3-4 shares. Okay, and it has went up, it gone up to 270 levels, which is more than 30% returns, and that too within a span of 1 week. So this example is keep you motivated that you can even start trading with 1,000 rupee. You can even generate 30% return with 1,000 rupee. First, make sure you are good at placing orders. What is bracket order, what is cover order, what is limit order, what is stop loss order. I have seen many people, they used to tell me, I am trading in market for more than 3 years, 5 years, but they don't know how to place an order, how to exit an order. They don't know how to keep stop loss in bracket order, how to keep stop loss in cover order. So these are some basic mistakes done by most of the retail traders, so you also don't make that mistake. So you can start with a less capital of even 1000 rupee and practice with minimum amount of shares and place orders and practice it first. Check whether your analysis is correct. For example, yes, last week I posted West Coast paper and my analysis was right. Now I am in profits in my investing portfolio as well as a technical analyst. I am also happy. So that happiness and confidence is necessary for a beginner. So don't worry about your capital. You can start with even a minimum capital of 1000 rupee. Generally, it takes at least 1 or 2 years to become a profitable trader, because the first 6 months to 12 months will go off to learn the basic stuffs. What is financial markets, how to place orders, what is technical analysis, what is fundamental analysis. These basic stuffs will take at least 1 year. And the next year, you will be trading, you will be losing money, you will be focusing on indicators, then again you will be losing money, you will be attending a lot of workshops, you will be attending a lot of webinars, you will be watching a lot of YouTube videos, and the second year will go off like this. In the third year of your trading career, most probably you will know how to differentiate between which is working in market and which is not working in market, and how professional traders, how experienced traders approach the markets. You will be well known about that. But I have heard something somewhere in Twitter. 90% of the traders, they exit the market in their first year of trading, and in the remaining 10% of the traders, they, in that 10%, 90% of the people will exit in their second year of trading career. And in that remaining few traders, they will be surviving in market for the third year, fourth year. Okay, they will be losing a lot of money in market, they will be facing ups and downs, and they get used to it. So they will be emotionally paralyzed. So then starts their profitable trading journey. So generally, to become a consistently profitable trader, it takes at least 2 to 3 years. See, full-time working people, you need to do a lot of end of the day analysis and weekend analysis, because that is what will help you to become a trader within a short time. Because see, when a college student approaches the market, he has got a plenty of time to learn, to trade, to watch live market. But if you are full-time employed, then just imagine you will get only a 10 to 15 minutes break in the morning. You will get hardly 30 to 45 minutes lunch break in the afternoon, and that time you will be spending time with your colleagues and you will be having your lunch. And in the evening you will get another 10 minutes, and at that time the market will be closed. And when you reach the home, you will be tired. You feel like taking some rest, spending some time with the family. So what happens? You will not get time to study the markets. So if you are full-time employed, you need to focus more on the charts after the market closes. For example, let's say you are reaching your home around 6 to 7 p.m. Then after 7 p.m, just spend 1 hour. Just spend 1 hour and practice the charts as much as possible. Just go through the charts, just do some analysis. And if you're not getting time in the evening, like if you're getting tired, if you feel like taking some rest, if you feel like going to bed, then get up early in the morning. I used to wake up around 4 or 4:30, and I used to sit with the chart and I start the day with charts only. After that, I leave to gym. So you can also follow the same. You can wake up at 4 or 4:30, and that time your mind will be positive. You can sit with the charts, you can do some analysis for just 1 hour, and that is enough. And in weekend, like you spend the time for outing, for movies. Similarly, you spend some 2-3 hours on Saturdays and Sundays with the charts, and do practices regularly. So this can help you to understand the market in a quicker time period. Okay, so my advice for full-time traders will be, first you do a lot of practices in charts, then you get into swing trading. Choose the right mentor, because that is much necessary. And when you do swing trading, the mentor's guidance is must, and it is very important, because you will not be able to track the particular company during market hours, and at that time your mentor should guide you, your mentor should intimate you which whether if the company gap ups or gap downs, or if there is a crash in that particular company. So you need a proper mentor, and you need to stick with swing trading, and you can try in equity shares initially. I have seen many swing traders, they trade in futures and options. So when you trade in futures and options initially, there are higher chances of losing your entire capital. If you are a full-time employed person, and if you are a new trader to swing trading, then I will strongly recommend you to trade in equity cash. Okay, take long positions and hold those companies for a few days, and then you can exit. Don't try futures and options, you will burn your fingers. So this is my advice for full-time employed person. In my early days, I used Ikinashi charts as well as Renko charts, but I am not profitable. And another important point, I didn't attend any webinar or workshops, or I didn't read any book related to Ikinashi charts as well as Renko charts. So I am not profitable using those chart patterns. If you are using Ikinashi charts and Renko charts, you can be profitable, you may be profitable if you find the right mentor. If you are fascinated about Ikinashi charts and Renko charts, read the books about those particular chart patterns and approach a person who is expert in using those chart patterns and attend his workshops, so that you will understand the psychology behind that particular chart pattern. I am good at using candlestick patterns, and I am not focusing on Ikinashi charts and Renko charts. See, always you have to start with the higher time frame. First you need to check the weekly chart, then you have to check the daily chart, and followed by you have to check the 1 hour chart. After that, you need to understand what is the trend of that particular company, and then as per that particular trend you have to look for long opportunity or short opportunity in 5 minutes chart. Now this is Bank Nifty weekly chart. I am looking for some patterns which are worth considering. So here there are couple of resistance in Bank Nifty. So I am expecting the Bank Nifty to come down and touch this particular resistance. Resistance will act as a support usually, and that may happen in Bank Nifty. Now I have analyzed in weekly chart, and I feel that Bank Nifty is bearish. Now I will come back to daily chart. In daily chart, I can see a descending triangle kind of pattern. Every time the Bank Nifty is coming down, once it reaches this trend line point, and I can see Bank Nifty taking a tough support, a strong support around this particular level, because as you can see here it has taken support, here a couple of times it has taken support, and once again today also it has taken support. If this support 34974 is broken, then definitely Bank Nifty will fall up to 32,600 levels. And remember, there is a small gap in Bank Nifty daily chart around this particular area. So in weekly chart also I am bearish in Bank Nifty, in daily chart also I am bearish in Bank Nifty. Now I will go to 1 hour chart and I will look for every possible ways to short Bank Nifty. I will look for only short opportunities, and even if the market goes up, I will feel that like a trap. From this particular 1 hour chart, I can clearly understand that Bank Nifty took resistance here once upon a time, and it has been taking a strong support in this particular zone. So once this zone is broken, definitely Bank Nifty will reach 33,600 zone very easily. In 1 hour chart also, it is very clear that Bank Nifty is bearish. Now in 5 minutes chart, I will look for all possible ways to short Bank Nifty. For example, around these areas Bank Nifty is going up, I will avoid long position. And yesterday Bank Nifty went up, I will avoid long position. Even today in the morning Bank Nifty went up, so I will avoid these long opportunities. And during every rise I will look for any shorting opportunity. Is there any breakouts? Is there any lower lows? Like this I will look for shorting opportunities based on price action in 5 minutes chart. So this is how you do analysis based on different time frame. Remember, always start with longer time frame and then you take a decision in shorter time frame. There are 6 type of pivot points: classic, traditional, Fibonacci, Woody pivots, DMARC pivots and Camarilla pivots. Each and every pivot points serves different purposes. Let me show you in chart. So this is Bank Nifty 5 minutes chart, and I have applied traditional pivots. As I said earlier, there are 6 type of pivot points. So this is traditional pivots. When I use traditional pivots, I can see Bank Nifty taking tough resistance at S1, and then the market took support around S2 and finally it broke S2. Now again the Bank Nifty has managed to take support at S2 levels. Usually we have to follow traditional pivots, and even the CPR formula uses traditional pivots only. You can just cross check with the values. The S1 in CPR is 35,442 and the same S1 in traditional pivots is 35,442. So both the levels are same and CPR uses traditional pivots for its values. Now if you switch over to Fibonacci, the entire support and resistance changes. Now you can clearly see Bank Nifty took resistance at S1 and then Bank Nifty took support at S2. Again it took resistance at S2 several times and then it took support at S3, and now it is taking support at S3 levels. Like this, each and every pivot points have different formulas and then they shows you the support and resistance levels. Now for Woody pivots, totally the candles are not in contact with support or resistance levels. Only here the Bank Nifty has taken support at S1 and S2. So the levels are totally different in Woody pivots. Like this, you can use any pivot type, but make sure you understand the logic behind it. Without completely understanding the reason for using these pivot points, then it is not useful for you to use it. So before you use these pivot points, make sure you learn their basics. I usually prefer traditional pivots. CPR pivot points is purely based on traditional pivots. See, whenever you get more than 10 stocks in narrow CPR stock list, when you scan in the charting scanner, you cannot focus on all the 10 or all the 15. So whenever the list of narrow CPR stocks increases more than 10, I used to add volume, which stock is having a higher volume than compared with the previous day volume, and which stock is above or below VWAP, or which stock is above or below moving averages. So I add additional filters to select the best stock among them. If you want to filter the best stock among the narrow CPR stock list, Let's say if there is 10 stocks and if you want only 2 or 3 stocks, I will suggest you to go with traditional method of analyzing the charts. Check for trend lines, check for support and resistance, and then you take the decision.